Hi everybody, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Gold with a how-to motive wave video. I've got a few things to do with my oil wave count today while I'm preparing that analysis, and so I thought I'd show you some tips and tricks on how I use motive wave. So this is my main daily wave count for oil, and I've got three ideas on this chart. I've got a flat, a combination and a triangle, and I need to separate those out this week into three different ideas. And so I'm going to label them flat, combination and triangle, and this one I'm probably going to use as a flat. So let's create a new chart based on this one. So I'm going to use this here and I'm going to label this, let's do combination. I want to base it on this one, yep. I don't know why it's choosing 15 minutes. Let's go to daily, yeah, so that's the same. So now this one's titled combination, and I'm going to make some changes. So for oil at the moment, I expect it's in a fourth wave at intermediate degree. Let's just make sure, yeah, I want my daily charts for oil to be on an arithmetic scale so that the Fibonacci retracements are mathematically accurate. I don't like what motive wave does to those retracements when it's on a semi-log scale. Look at how it changes. Look at the numbers here, and when we change it to semi-log, yeah, see that's changed. I want this to be accurate, mathematically accurate. Okay, so not logarithmic. I want it to be arithmetic. Okay, so if intermediate 4 is a combination, then it's going to be labelled WXY. So I need to get rid of these little elements here. First, let's get rid of this and make this a little cleaner. Target's probably going to be the same, no. Okay, but let's get rid of the ABC and I'm going to replace it with WXY. I don't want to remove the subdivisions because the subdivisions are going to be the same. Let's bring in a double combination. I'll change that to the appropriate degree. So I'm doing control click. I'm using a Mac, so my controls are going to be different to Windows, just so you know. Okay, so I want to put the start of it here. W is a zigzag, X is an expanded flat, and now we're looking at Y is what? What is this? Warning. Oh yeah, true. Y can't be a motive wave. So the subdivisions here need to change. Let's choose this. Let's get rid of that. Okay. For this, the invalidation point. Oh no, hang on. Undo that. Okay, now let's have a think what's happening here. Okay, so if we've got zigzag, X, flat correction, then it's going to be 335. From here to here, I think this looks best as a 5, not a 3. So we would be looking at A as a zigzag, subdividing 535. Yep. And so the invalidation point for the short term remains. The pathway is pretty much the same. Actually, yeah, that's going to be different. Let's get rid of that. Squish this up just a little bit. I'm just using control and moving my mouse to squash that up a little bit so I've got a little bit more room here for the directional arrow. And I'm going to try and show, actually this is a short-term invalidation point only for minuet B, so let's move that line across there, and this remains valid. I need a new arrow. So if my minor Y is going to be a flat correction, then it's going to subdivide 3, 3, 5. So minute A may end somewhere down here, maybe. Let's pull the end of intermediate 4 up so that minor Y ends about the same level as minor W, because that's usually how combinations fit. The invalidation point will remain the same. Pull that up here, and I'm going to pull this down so that everything's fitting in my screen. Let's just leave that 0.382 ratio there. So now I'm going to have a double curve arrow. In order to see the pull points for the arrow, I need to squish my chart up, pull this down here. Let's just leave that there, I think. Pull this up a little bit here. Too high. Okay, I'm going to just make this arrow fatter and change the colour. And now I want to add another arrow here for the final C wave, which this is just a vague idea to generally show the general pathway, and it will change as the structure unfolds if it's not invalidated. Okay, now let's expand that back out. Pull this top back up. Get these in the right place. Why is there a lag here? I'm going to pull this up here. No. Just arranging my elements. That looks pretty good. Now I want to show that minute B could make a new high, so I'm going to put a B in here. Oh no, what? Uh-oh. I have no idea what happened. Oh no. Oh my goodness. That's random. Yeah, no. What happened? Why? Give me candlesticks, that's better. Okay. That's weird. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, let's bring in a comment and put it up here. B. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't work the first time. Let's make this bigger and change the colour to pink. That's about the right size. Let's try and put a little circle around it. This is just for illustrative purposes only. A lot of mucking around making the charts look right is one of the things I sadly spend a lot of time on. Okay, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. Why are my candlesticks not flat? Give me flat candlesticks. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, let's save that. Command S. Now let's make the next one. So that's my combination idea. I'm going to leave this as a flat. So if this is going to be a flat, let's get rid of these extra elements that are trying to outline a combination and leave that like that. Command S to save that. I'm just going to, not yet. Okay, now I'm going to do another one for a triangle. We're going to label it triangle. Based on the daily, yep, that's what I want. Okay, why is it 15 minutes? Let's make it daily. Yes, everything's there. Again, let's get rid of everything at minor degree. This is not going to be the case, so let's get rid of these. That's going to be the same. Possibly let's get rid of this to clean this up. And let's put some triangle labels in here at minor degree. change the degree to minor. Yeah, actually this isn't. Yeah, well, 4 of the 5 subwaves of a triangle have to be of the zigzag family, single or multiple zigzags with only one a multiple, which means that 1 of the 5 subwaves of a triangle can be a flat. So technically minor B could be a flat. But then the AC trend line's not going to fit very well. So that isn't actually going to look very good. Let's condense that a little bit, pull it over so we've got a little bit more room. For a triangle, it's going to end up somewhere up here. Let's get rid of that because it's going to change. Let's pull this line right over to the edge because this will be an invalidation point for the midterm. Let's get the triangle trend lines and I'll put the end there and CD somewhere up here probably. Yeah, so your triangles normally adhere really well to their trend lines. So C needs to be somewhere up here. This doesn't look right. So that could have been a double zigzag, and now we have to see minor B. Yeah, that'll fit. So if I try and see minor A as a single zigzag, I'm going to have, say, A, B, and then C wouldn't look right. That's a 3, not a 5. If I see B over here as a huge truncation, that would be a running flat. That's not a situation in which a running flat would occur, so that is unacceptable. But what is possibly more acceptable could be a double zigzag, but now Y doesn't look right. Okay. Let's pull C up. No, I think that's too steep. Somewhere around here, which means E can't move beyond the end of C, so it'll be up here. This is just too much. And let's put a double curve arrow in there to show the general expectation. I'm going to make that thicker and change the colour, and then a final arrow down. So overlapping sideways movement, an ever decreasing range probably for another few weeks is also possible. Let's show that this is where I expect D could possibly end. Make that a bit bigger and change the colour. Pull it over here. And then E, let's pull this arrow up a little bit to allow a little bit of room for a note to show that this is where we could have E ending. Change the colour and make it bigger and pull it over. Okay, so that's how a triangle could unfold. I'm going to save that. Pull this up and pull the bottom down so we don't have all that blank space, wasting space. I don't like how A subdivides. I don't like that at all. I think this might actually be a slightly better look, but it's still, well, that's possible, but then Y is just so much more of an obvious 3 than W is. Okay, anyway. Not perfect, but so coming together. Let's go back to the daily. So this is the one I want to see as a flat. I'm going to get rid of this now because that's done very obviously. And now I want to rename this, save it, close it, manage analysis, daily, rename, flat, okay. And now open, oh, come on, daily, not 15-minute, yeah, there we go. For every different wave count and every different time frame, I'm doing it on a different chart. And I like to order it logically from left to right, monthly, weekly. And now we've got flat, let's put that here, combination, triangle. And now we've got an alternate way of labeling things. This is also a combination, or it could be a flat. I could tease those two ideas out into two different charts, but then I'd have 5 daily charts, and that's just getting a bit unmanageable. So this is going to have to encompass 2 different structural ideas. Now I'm going to show you how I set up Motive Wave, because I had someone ask me a little while ago. I go into Preferences, then I go into Elliott Wave, and I do for every degree. So I've started at green supercycle. My fonts are all Arial, the font sizes change and the colour sizes change. Supercycle, font colour, cycle, font a little bit smaller, and so on. All the way down. I've made changes all the way down to, I think, Nano. Sub-Nano and Pico. Yeah, okay. So it's all done from Grand Supercycle down. So that's where I set up all those different colours for the different wave degrees. What else have I done to set it up? Yeah, that's about it. Well, I get rid of those vertical lines that Motive Wave gives you. And I've changed the background to white. I think it's just a bit easier to read, for me anyway. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go away and finish my charts and write up my analysis for oil. I hope you may have found this somewhat useful, possibly. A couple of little tricks on how I use Motive Wave. Oh, I always have the components viewed on the left-hand side. Okay, that's all from me today. Thanks.